Right. Trigger warning, child SA. Amberlynn Reid in her own words.
Uh-oh.
Thank you, Alamo, for shilling the slabs link.
Hi, everybody. I've been waiting for Amber to address all this stuff, but she hasn't.
Fucking birds.
No, at least not properly. So,
you guys have snow over there?
So I'll just make the video now. I've been going through Amber's Ask FM.
I don't consider Apathetic Facts a React channel.
I watch Karina Kaboom once in a while.
Apathetic Facts.
I listen to her at work.
Apathetic Facts is incredibly talented, but I don't think she's a React channel. I'd say she's an
archive channel.
Educated archive compilation channel.
A little series on the same
And I assume she.
channel. Reading out the Ask FM stuff and trying to make it funny and silly. But while going through that, there's been some pretty horrible things she said. One of them was she was defending files.
Oh, hold on. Pedophilia is not like cancer or depression or obesity. It is not like that. You're talking some shit because they are not comparable. Look into it. As a fucking victim, I know it's not like that. It's evil and wrong and should not be treated with sympathy. First of all, don't play victim with someone who's been there, done that. Thank you. Secondly, your opinion is your opinion, mine is mine. Get over it. Whoa.
Okay. Which person is Amber talking?
So when that uploaded, people went to Amber's Instagram and said, do you still stand by your views defending pedophiles? And she said, let's have a look. So somebody said, do you still stand?
Oh my, everything's a fucking soliloquy.
And by the comments you made about pedophilia on Ask FM in 2014. Amber says, trigger warning and trauma dumping. No, I don't. I was 22 years old, trying to understand how people can be so awful. I was molested, sexually assaulted by my father's friends.
She has never talked about this once.
By my father's friends, etc. So supposedly it was multiple times, multiple people, etc.
Hey.
When I was...
I'm not gonna say X.
Younger and talked about this in therapy recently, about how I wish I could understand why those things happened to me. I won't ever understand. These people are sick and forever deserve prison time. In 2014, I was 22. I think she was 23, but I was 22 and highly trying to make excuses for what happened to me.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say X.
Why would you be making excuses for the people who did something horrible to you?
I'm just gonna side eye.
I'm 32 now, it's a decade later to those Ask FM days, and I'm a completely different woman with completely different opinions. Now,
I see people in the chat saying it. I can't say it, but I agree with what they're saying.
I saw this, where she says, father's friends. And it was very different.
But I would like to point out she was the one who was in her early 20s dating 17-year-olds, making them sleep in the bed with her.
She said on Ask FM. So I made a video. What did I say in the video now? I just said it was a different story, Amber. You told a different story.
Mock machines. For some reason, I can't genuinely understand why I just said the letter X.
So people, and I know people went to Amber's Instagram and asked her about, are there two different stories? Can you clarify what's this? And she's blocked lots of them. Probably all of them. She's blocked lots of them. I think she's blocked Zachary Michael as well.
Is she just blocking anybody who asks about this?
That's interesting.
Well, that is a legit question to have. And that's true, Ham and Bean. She was 25, 26, hitting on the 15-year-old. Talking sexual, vibrators, dildos, etc., etc.
That's gross. If I was that 15-year-old's mother, I would have been livid. Wow.
Not even that, but she has told every story she could think of twice and just never mentioned this before.
Yeah, you would think that as much as she likes to talk about her childhood trauma, I'm a sexual abuse victim would be like number one thing on that list.
Yeah, not the I ate meth thing.
Right.
It was my dad's friends would
X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
It's that's weird.
I think it's for a different reason, but yeah. Anyway, blocked them all. Blocked me.
And then blocking anybody who asks about it. Very weird.
Yeah, and then this was very soon after.
She lies about everything. Why not this? It's dirty to.
It's a weird thing to lie about.
It's dirty to call bullshit on it.
Yeah.
So she feels like this is another thing that she can't be called out for.
Yeah.
Clearly asks herself this question. It sounds like she asks herself this question. On a Q&A. She says, I was also tested, and over time I was able to remember things I couldn't before. Amber says, I'm so sorry you experienced that. I also completely relate to this. My therapist has taught me more about how trauma can mess with your memory pretty bad, and recounting the events that gave you trauma don't always look the same each time because you sometimes remember all the details and sometimes you don't.
Zach, this is a very long run-on sentence.
Mm-hmm.
But that's true. It's called like functional memory.
Yeah, like your memory
something like that.
Blocks out things that are traumatic.
And it's not only that. So this is an old story, but it was something that, this is one of the first things that ever made me really think that memory is not what it seems to be. Sam Harris was talking about this years and years ago. He was talking about a study done in India where they would use fMRI to interrogate people at crime scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And suggestibility would like make somebody who's never been to the house before be like, yeah, you know what? I think I was there once.
Yeah.
And he told a story. It was in India, and a girl who was completely innocent of a murder admitted to it just because she was kind of like coaxed into it. And the fMRI was making it look like these were actual memories she had, but she just wasn't there. But I tell you that to tell you this. There was a young girl, like 13 or 14, and she had gone through something, and she was going to therapy, and the therapists were talking to her about it. And through suggestibility, these therapists kind of led her down this primrose path of a girl who just had a bad relationship with her father. After a few sessions, due to suggestibility, and this girl 100% believed everything she was saying, her father was part of a cult that would kill, eat, and rape babies, worshipping Satan. And of course, none of this was true.
Wow.
But through the power of suggestibility, there it is, the satanic daycare. She told the cops, the therapists, everybody, all of this.
Wow.
So memory is ridiculously faulty, but it's really interesting.
Just remember not to be hard on yourself. I beat myself up way too much in the past about the SA I've experienced in my life and my memories around it. I'm just grateful for my mom because I told her about it when I was 12, and from that point on, I had someone in my corner.
She just never mentioned this before. I'm having a hard time with it. My friend's sister did something similar where the therapist convinced her that she was the victim of all sorts of heinous. It's crazy, man.
I was afraid to tell anyone else. If you or someone you know is experiencing SA, please talk to someone and never feel ashamed of what happened or how your memory chooses to handle the trauma. So she's saying there, you might remember the details differently. But
John,
what Amber said is very different.
Yeah, she was in a foster home at this time. How was she being abused?
How was she telling her mom, and her mom was in her corner if her mom had given her up to foster care at that age?
Didn't she go in at like 8?
Supposedly. None of the timelines ever line up.
And Wingy, don't talk to cops. I saw a sign on Facebook. It was like, "Don't let the cops in, don't let the cats out."
Yeah.
On Ask FM, somebody says, "How old were you when you were and who did it?" Amber says, "I was 6 and it was my cousin."
I thought it was Dad's friends, etc.
Yeah, I thought it was Dad's friends.
Okay.
I can't find where she said she was arrested. Originally, it must have been deleted, it's not there. But yeah, somebody says, "How old were you when you were and who did it?" "I was 6 and it was my cousin." So it's not father's friends. So that's remembering the details.
You would think you would remember who did something like this, too.
Yeah,
if it happened, you would remember who the person was.
There's a big difference between my dad's friends and... I was essayed as a child by a stranger. Okay. I was incestually essayed as a child. Like, it's two very different things.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's another one. "How old was your cousin and what was the outcome? Did he go to jail?" "She did not go to jail because we didn't turn her in. She was a young adult. I really don't want to talk about it anymore." So there's another different detail. We didn't turn her in, so it was a cousin. Another one. "The person who molested you, were they a family member or someone you just trusted or neither?" Emma says, "A family member, yes." And then
This is very weird.
Oof.
next one. "What's the most disturbing thing that has ever happened to you?" And again, Amber says, "I was arrested when I was 7.
She was 7. Okay.
And this is during the Destiny era.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Is this just Amber making up things for attention on the internet when she was young and dumb?
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Aye.
This is weird.
6. Anyway, said I was arrested when I was 7. So that's very different from my father's friends did it.
My father's friends did it to me when I was 12.
Yeah.
No, 6. Actually, it was my cousin, and I was 7. Aye.
No, to say it's very different. So maybe she is remembering the details differently, but there you go anyway.
There's some big details to remember differently.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal.
Different. No doubt Amber will say this. Amber.
Don't lie about shit like this.
"How dare she? I wanted that cake. How dare she? I wanted that cake.
What is that?
How dare she?
What the fuck was that?
What was that?
Bar slabs, maybe?
You don't know what other things I've got from your Ask FM. So hopefully you address this properly and you tell the truth.
Are you going to hit that X to doubt now? I will not be hitting any X to doubt because I just believe everything that is ever said on the internet, always. But I'm just going to agree with some of the insinuations in chat. I'll woo my way past the question. I was 7. Am I wrong, or does ALR have multiple people coming out saying that she abuses them? Maybe this is true because normally victims of abuse end up abusing. Okay. You gotta have a little bit of a honest discussion about this. There are various levels of abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Making your ex sleep in bed with you is abusive.
Mm-hmm.
But it's different than making your ex have sex with you. Being chestered as a child is different than making your ex sleep with you. These are very different things. But that being said, even during the Destiny era, or early Becky era, Amber has always kind of had a thing with younger girls.
Mm-hmm.
There's
That's
the
true.
15-year-old that she was hitting on, talking about sex, all that shit. Casey, which that's a whole separate conversation. But honestly, from what I'm seeing here, I'm not saying anything about it.
Yeah, there's nothing to say about it. She put things out there.
You've heard it, as Mr. Snowflake said, in her own
How
words.
dare she?
Yeah.
God damn
I
it,
wanted
Far.
that
What the
cake.
fuck?
How dare she?
It's the same thing that happened with Weibo shits.
Fingers crossed. Anyway, sorry to make such a serious video, everybody. I'm not used to it. I'll get back to the silly ones after this, hopefully. Very sorry. Hope everyone's alright. Sorry. Right. Bye, everybody.
Ooh, Nadals.
That's probably very likely what happened.
What if she got these stories from real victims while in the group homes? It used to say it was her, but it's not the kids she was fostered with.
That is probably very likely.
And you know what? We will never,
No.
ever learn the truth of this.
No.
But herself saying 3, 4 different stories.
It's just the kind of person that she is, she would be using this now for victimhood. Unless she's thinking nobody's ever going to find this way back then. Ask FM things. Or she forgot she even said it 10 years ago.
If this is something that happened, you don't forget what happened. You don't remember I was 6 or maybe I was 7, maybe I was 12. It was my uncle or my cousin. Maybe it was my dad's friend. These are things that you don't forget.
Right.
This is kind of... I wasn't expecting such a heavy turn at the end of this.
Yeah.
But honestly, the thing is this isn't my fault. This isn't Snowflake's fault. We are just reading the stuff Amber put out and connecting it to the stuff she puts publicly online for money.
That's true.
We're not talking about anything that is not put online by Amber
That's true.
to try to get money or attention in one way or another. This is all shit she has done.
Yep. All shit she's put up. And if she didn't want any attention drawn to it, why was she answering questions about it on Instagram? Why would she choose to answer those questions?
Yeah, no.
Like, she chooses what questions to answer. If she wanted that to be left, and that was me in 2014, and I don't think that way anymore, why would you just leave that alone? Just not mention it at all. Very weird. Why would you put that all public? Because she wants scandal? She wants people to talk about it because it gets her attention?
I wonder if this does have anything to do with the fact that she's not uploading, because this is goddamn terrible.
Wow.
Even if it isn't true, even if this all happened to her, the inconsistency in how she's putting it out there is going to make people side-eye it.
Right. Like the 6 and 7 thing, that's not that.
Scout for the 7777. No comment. Thank you, Scout. And that's where I'm at, Karina. She just never mentioned this before.
Right, all of this therapy she's going to. I have to write a paper about the most traumatic thing that's ever happened to me, and I'm going to write about my brother choking.
My brother choking. That is almost
the most traumatic thing she could think of.
That is almost certainly a lie.
It's just...
He was purple in the face, but still screaming.
Right. It's just like I get misremembering memories. So saying I was 6, I was 7. Okay, yeah, you might not remember if you were 6 or 7, but 12 or 6 or 7, you would remember that. A female cousin or a dad's friend, you would remember those differences.
I feel like this is
weird.
I don't think this is, and this is not something I am familiar with, so I can't put a definitive anything down there.
Same.
But I feel like you would not forget how old you were, who did it,
And I feel like she would use that as my trauma for XYZ now.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
She would be
Oh,
using that
fucking
now
yeah.
all the time.
I gotta be honest, I was bum graped as a teen. It took 15 years of marriage and a kid before I was even remotely comfortable letting my husband in my... I'm not reading that so I don't get clipped. You don't just forget. I assume not.
Yeah, how could you?
I assume having your humanity taken away like that, that is some of the most vile shit a human being can do.
Yeah.
But having that done, I just have to assume that you still forget.
That is a good one.
Cult Curl for 111, almost goal. Who's going to be the legend to push us over?
Thank you, Cult.
Thank you so much, Cult. And we're 40. We're a John Wick away from goal.
Yes, we are. At Fash.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, got it.
I missed my last comment. I'm a bit drunk.
Same.
We need some good shit tonight, even if it runs a bit late. I don't know what the good shit is, but I'm sure satisfaction will follow. Also, you are welcome, Shelly.
Thank you, Scout.
Thank you, Scout. Much appreciated, Scout and Cult. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I gotta. Vash said, I don't think everyone with a platform needs to mention these kinds of things. It's not the internet's business if you don't want to be, and that's absolutely true. Like, if she was the kind of person who was private and didn't bring up every little thing in their life for the internet to talk about, I would be like, oh yeah, of course they would never talk about that. Of course somebody, just because they're on YouTube, would never talk about some horrible thing that happened to them. But Amber consistently talks about every negative thing that's ever happened to her in her entire life.
I mean, she told us she pooped herself.
Right. Like,
y'all are so wrong. Sometimes we bury that shit, especially if you never told. But she's talking about it actively.
She posted about it on Ask FM and then again on Instagram.
She is.
There's no cock like
damn.
horse cock. Send your asshole into shock. There's no cock like horse cock. Grab some lube and slam the day away.
God, y'all are going crazy in the fourth hour.
Yeah.
Damn it, Cult. Messing up the train. And the train lived through that.
Yeah, the train lives for those ones.
Yeah. Thank you,
Mike Machine.
Mock, thank you so much. Damn. Granted, Amberlynn doesn't have I mean, that's true. But if she didn't remember, she wouldn't talk about it. And this...
Yeah, I like, if that had happened to me, I would probably bury it deep and never want to bring it up on the internet. But I wouldn't be posting about it on Instagram either.
And Amber is known for dishonesty. She known for people not believing what she says.
Multiple monetized videos about addressing her lies.
Everybody experiences things differently, and that's just a fact. But you don't experience... Was I 12? Was I 6? Was I 7? Was it my cousin? Was it my dad's friends? Was it a stranger? Like, those are major issues. You kind of just don't forget a little bit.
Right, and it's one thing to just never want to talk about it.
And that's perfectly understandable.
Valid to never want to talk about it, but to like drop little hints about it and put out all this information about it on the internet, it's... If you don't want to talk about it, why would you put it out on the internet?
Yeah. If you don't want to talk about it, you don't talk about it.
You don't talk about it.
You
bury it down inside and you don't talk about it.
You don't Talk about it.
You talk about with your therapist, maybe, but not Instagram.
What's your favorite?
Yeah. It's the inconsistency in the fact that it was never brought up. Again, I'm not saying that I don't believe it or that I think she's lying. I'm just saying a lot of your assertions in the chat are correct. I love both Sin and Sass. Glad to chip in, especially these times praying for the fam. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. It's really helpful. Thank you. It's just okay. Well, in the future, if I upload this as a highlight, let me know what you think.